bang. By the time you see him, he's already seen you. The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 2. This was an awesome episode. This was way better than the first episode. Shouldn't have been that way. Still, off to a fairly rough start. Kind of, sort of. Let's get talking about this. Again, this is full spoilers. So if you don't like spoilers, then you should piss off because I've named it. I've said it. Go away if you don't like the spoilers. This just dropped an hour ago as of the time that I'm doing this. So I had to give myself a little bio break and whatnot. Bro, this was fun. So we start off with a scene that, let's be realistic, this scene shouldn't have worked, sub JT Gamer. This absolutely should not have worked because here is the Mandalorian is coming. You see this, smoke cloud, the dust cloud, I should say, far away. And it's like, oh, look, there's these guys setting up a trap. And then he's getting closer. And they're like, oh, so they start hammering faster. And they're getting closer. And it's like, oh my God. He's getting closer still. Let's tie up the rope. Oh my God, he's getting closer. Okay, let's get over here and hide. My God, that took way too long. So by the time he gets there, you're thinking he's going to see this coming, right? Because they made sure that we saw it coming. And remember, one of the main rules of whether it's a movie or a book or comic, whatever, you know what I'm saying? If the main guy, JT, I see you, brother. This is about this. I'll get to your questions towards the end. So if you are seeing this and you know that the Mandalorian is the guy who we're supposed to see through his eyes, helmet, whatever, he's the one who's got to be like, we see what he sees what we see, we know what he knows, and vice versa, right? So if we've seen for the first minute that there's a trap up ahead, oh no, it's a trap, right? Well, Mandalorian should know too, but he doesn't. He falls to the trap, and right away I'm like, you set up this scene just to have him not see the trap, but they saved it. They saved it because all of a sudden he's like, poop, poop, two little farts of that rising phoenix, and all of a sudden he's standing on his feet. Oh, there's a little, realism, which I dug, but he's just like, he's still standing, and all of his stuff is wrecked. It's like, man, this guy just can't keep a speeder bike to save his life, bruh. So, what do you call it? He goes up and he gets into this fight with these dudes. They're ready for him. He isn't. So I understand that they're fighting. They've got the advantage, big time. But the Mandalorian, if there's anything he can do and do right, it's fight. I don't care if it's melee. I don't care if it's distance. He's going the distance, and he's going to kick some butt along the way. You know what I'm saying? I dug that. This was a great opening. The whole thing with the the rising phoenix, it rose, and it's like, that dude didn't. He fell. Everything that rises, it must fall at some point or another. If you ain't got wings, it's going to hurt when you land. So I dug on that a lot. Then we get to the freaking Amy Sedaris scene. Listen, can this not be her contact? Or can this not be Pedro Pascal's contact? Pretty please. It's bad enough that she's just not a good actress. She overacts, and it's funny because Pedro doesn't overact except when he's in a scene with her. You remember last week I complained season 1 he was reading a script rather than just, reciting his lines. He was reading a script. That was painful. I saw him doing it here too, but only when he was talking to Amy Sedaris. And that's when I realized these two suck together. They've got terrible chemistry. And since Pedro's a star and she's not, unless she's putting on that helmet one of these days, which would help to hide that freaking bird's nest of a hair, I'm saying she got to go. One of them got to go. She got to go. They have zero chemistry together. And seeing these two, reading their lines with each other. Oh, yeah, well, there's a client. Oh, there's a client. So what do we have to do? Oh, well, but oh my God, is she the female Bill Burr? Does she have to yell every damn thing that she says? Is she hard of hearing? Please stop. This is unnecessary. Then the worst thing imaginable happens. Something that I can't remember this ever happening in the original series. Pretty sure it didn't happen in the prequels either. Amy Sedaris starts talking the language, if that's what you can call it, of another species. She actually turns, instead of like common is the standard language that pretty much everybody knows. And some other species may not be able to voice common, but they can understand common, right? Which is English to us. So if, Han Solo's talking to Chewie, he doesn't turn around and try and talk Wookiee to to Chewie. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't do that. He doesn't try and talk Rhodian to there was the racist comment here. What do you think I am? Some kind of a Rhodian? That's racist, lady. It's a joke, but funny or anything she said. Han Solo doesn't try, he's just like, tell Jabba I've got the money. He doesn't turn around and start going, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Like it was funny, it was cute when Pedro was doing it, in whatever episode 4 or 6, I think it was episode 4 with the Jawas, whatever the hell episode that was. That was freaking hysterical. You know what I'm saying? He's like, your Jawa, your Jawa sucks. You sound like a Wookiee. Like that was freaking great. You know what I'm saying? Here, she turns around like here's this frog creature, and it's actually called the frog. You know what I'm saying? The species is called frog. The language is called frog. And she just turns around. She's like, it's oh God, enough. Dude, like I love this show, and I'm not about to turn it off. I swear to God, if I was new to the show and I saw her turn around doing like off by, I'll I'll see it some other day. Like that was wretchedly terrible. Dude, like no, nobody's ever done that before. Don't do it now. Don't do that now. I don't want to see people trying to speak the language of other things. Like, what the heck are you doing? Gargling razor blades? Stop that nonsense. That was just booty. That's like, dude, do not ever bring Amy freaking Sedaris back again. Like, her character is done. It's done. Flip it over, stick a fork in it, whatever. It's done. Okay. Did I sound like Andrew Dice Clay when I did that? All right. Well, that didn't sound like Andrew Dice Clay. Anyway, I did, however, like the freaking aliens. There was that one ant thing, Dr. Mandible, whatever the hell she called him. There was the frog itself. There was the ice spiders later on. Dude, like the freaking alien species in this series right now is better than the freaking original series, and for the most part, better than the prequels too. That's right. That's right. I'm going there. Those overly CGI'd freaking things. Just remember part two. Part two, the Attack of the Clones. Remember in the very beginning? What was that thing called? Dax? That freaking fry cook dude? He comes out, he's like, well, hey, Obi-Wan, what do you say? It's like, what the funk is this? Get that big, giant, froggy piece of crap out of here. I don't want him in my kitchen. I don't want him on my TV screen. I don't want him in my freaking movie theater. Get that freaking the freak out of here, man. Oh, that was just disgusting. Well, hey, if there's a planet, but you can't find it, well, then maybe someone changed it. No, I'm done. I'm done. Get rid of those stupid things. The Mandalorian has the actual alien species that I want to see from now on. Oh my God. People getting mad at me. How come you don't like the prequels? That's one of the reasons why. So anyway, Yoda looked a billion times better than that in the original trilogy without that damn mustache. Anyhow, I digress. So we move on in this freaking episode. Dude, you have he's like this. Okay, so he needs to find more Mandalorians, another what is it? Covert, another covert, because he just got the Mandalorian armor and he didn't see Boba Fett actual, but he got the armor, and it's like, hey, so he's like, I don't have any more sources. So Amy Sedaris, God damn it, she goes and says, well, I've got a client who can take you there. It's in the next system. Really? Yeah, but you got to take her there. Okay, fine. No light speed. It's weird, but I dig it. I dig it, right? They can't use hyperspace for this. By the way, I love the idea of hyperspace. You know what I'm saying? Hyperspace in the Star Wars universe, just like the freaking warp drive in the Star Trek universe, Star Wars Galaxy. Anyway, I love the concepts, right? Like not even theoretically, hypothetically, it could potentially, possibly, maybe work. Sup, Raven? It could maybe work, but for the most part, I just love the idea of the concepts of these two things. Like, great freaking concepts. So he's got to go without hyperspace, and all of a sudden, on comes Dave Filoni onto the freaking set. That's right, Wolf is back. Trapper Wolf, in fact, like a trapper spider, wolf spider. I guess Dave Filoni is a spider in this. Anyway, we saw some spiders in this. So Trapper Wolf shows up, pilot of the New Republic. He's like, "Hey, were you anywhere near such and such and such? Because I had eyes on, man." Like, he was there. Remember when they blew up the thing and with the stuff and the freaking Bill Burr, his scene again. "Hey, Mando, let me see your eyes, dude. Go back on the comedy stage because you're not good here. You're not. You're not. Just don't. All right. I don't want to see you here. Go back on the freaking Dave Chappelle show, season 3, if that ever happens. I don't want to see you here anymore. Right? We're done. We're done." Anyway, yeah, he was on Dave Chappelle's show. So you have, oh my God, they're like, "Hey, we see that you're here. We're coming to get you. You better run." And he's like, "Oh no." So goes off. They needed a Hoth-like planet. I don't know if you guys seen some of the interviews or whatnot, but they're talking about we need a Hoth-like planet, not Hoth itself, a Hoth-like planet. Well, this was the episode, and I dug on this. I love when they do stupid little things like this. We didn't have to go directly to Hoth like we went to Tatooine in the previous episode. No, we got to go to a Hoth-like planet, that environ. So that was cool. And then the little things that happen, like the little freaking Yiddle, the baby Yoda Yiddle, going around and make Yiddle happen. Hashtag make Yiddle happen. Going around and grabbing these little freaking eggs and eating them all the time from the beginning to the very end. That was cute. That was cute. Mind you, it's like possibly genocidal cute, because like that's it. The species, not the species, but like this particular species creature, like her family, this is all she has for family, and each one of these could and probably will be an actual living being unless Yiddle eats them. And he's eating like what, 4 or 5, something like that. I'm saying, so that's kind of messed up. That being said, um, when she goes off and like the whole, I didn't really. Here's one thing I didn't like actually about the story itself, not just Amy Sedaris. What was this? You're a freaking toucan now? When the Mando was like Din Djarin, when he was like, "Oh, the deal's off because blah 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 blah." Like, did the red flag go up for anybody else? Because it immediately went up for me, where it's like, no, a Mando wouldn't do that. A Mandalorian would never do that. But he says, "Yeah, the deal's off, lady. Like, things got bad, things got choppy. Oh no." And she's like, "Oh, well, I heard that they were, blah blah blah. Must be child stories that I heard." And then he's just, "Ugh, okay, fine, I'll do it." I think that was a very unnecessary interrupter that just slowed down the pace. An already slow pace slowed it down a lot more. I think that was completely unnecessary. There was nobody who thought that he actually meant that. There's nobody who believed that that was actually going to happen, that they were just going to stop. "Oh, deal's off, lady." Nah, this was like, how are you going to get off the planet anyway? What does that mean, deal's off? We're just going to stay here and die? Like, what does that mean? That was so pointless entirely. But then you get to see more alien species. And I'm telling you, did anybody else have xenomorph vibes? Because I'm looking at this, I'm seeing these freaking spiders come. Like, as soon as he went and ate one of those, like, is that an alien? Is that one of the xenomorphs? Like, when he bites it, is it going to be like a little acidy aftertaste or something like that? What's going on? And they start coming out the little freaking pods, and I'm like, "Get away from Yiddle, you bitch!" With the flamethrower, he had the flamethrower, right? Like, that's what I'm thinking in my mind. Like, holy crap, this is freaking great. Except it didn't quite go that way, because tough as the Mando is, he's no Ripley. So he was sitting there acing as much of these things as he possibly could. Frog had to help out. That was cool. She wasn't entirely useless. I don't like it when people are useless. I know there's probably going to be some people who are going to complain, "Oh, I didn't like that, Frog, the lady chick thing, froggy thing. Oh, everything is about the money with her. I paid you, therefore you have to do the impossible. You know, when you think about it, oh, I didn't know that, Raven. The spiders were in the Rebels animated series. That is freaking awesome. So we got to see a live action first appearance. I wonder if they're going to show up in a comic book, which to us comic book collectors, that will be their true first appearance. You know what I'm saying? People going around collecting the first time Kylo Ren appeared in the comic book, talking about, I got the first appearance of Kylo Ren. Dude, this guy's been in movies for the past 7 years. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I'm about 7, but you get the gist, right? So anyway, like 30-something-year-old guy talking about it's his first appearance. Tell his mama that. We are a very strange and amazing lot, us comic book fans, right? We can fantasize anything. So anyway, um, what happens? So isn't that the way that people act in real life? Like, think about it. I'm an independent contractor. What I do, teaching English and whatnot, I don't work for a big company. I have a contract with a big company, and I renew that contract every 6 months. And I could do a year, but I choose to do every 6 months so I could try to renegotiate more often because I'm really freaking good at what I do. I'm saying you got to know your own value. So, what do you call it? I have a contract with this company. Technically, they could fire me, but then I get to sue them for breach of contract and stuff like that, unless I do something egregious. Same vice versa. What do you call it? Anyway, so um, while I don't necessarily work directly for them, I work through them. I do still have to report to the customers. The customers are the parents of the kids I'm teaching. And let me tell you something. These little snots, once in a while, some of them can be real little boogers, all right? And when they get all like, you want to learn, and stuff like that, and start like saying, like, you learn some English curse words. That's really good. Let me tell you some of the curse words I know, mother fathead. Anyway, I don't do that. I don't actually do that. But I could. I could. I shouldn't, but I could. The point is, everybody knows you can. What do you call it? The point is that every so often you get a mother who's just like, I don't think you taught my kid too much stuff today. And I'm not trying to make fun of the accent. This is literally what I have coming at me. I don't think that you taught my kid anything today. Your kid wouldn't let me teach. Where were you? You were sitting off on the side, hoping that I was going to teach your kid to not curse at me? Nah, that's like, I'm not here for discipline. I'm here for teaching. Like, what am I supposed to do? Reach into the freaking, what do you call it, the little iPad that he's got and smack him in the freaking head? Shut up. Like, I did what I could, but they're gonna get upset, right? Likewise here. Likewise here in the freaking show. She's just like, oh, something impossible happened? That sucks. But I paid you, didn't I? So that was probably the most realistic thing in this show. If there was something else realistic, it's the way that Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, was escaping or leaving from the freaking hole in the Hoth-like world that he was in. He kept on hitting things, banging things, and whatnot, right? That makes a lot of sense. He's not the greatest pilot. He's not the greatest lots of things. So it makes him very realistic, when fights happen and he can predict this, but he can't predict that. That's that's more like, oh my God, this was dangerous. You never know what could happen in a fight. Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. When he shot his cable and in the beginning and pulled that freaking thing forward, and like he ducked a little bit sooner than he had to. Like, he could have gotten himself jacked up keeping ducked that long. I'm still trying to teach my 5-year-old, don't duck in a fight. You can't see me doing. You duck this, you can't see this. You know what I'm saying? So, he ducked. Dude, that sucks. But it worked. But sometimes when he fights, it doesn't work. I love that realism of a fight. They're so well choreographed, much like Pedro Pascal versus the freaking Mountain, right? Really great stuff. So in this, when I'm seeing him banging up against things and not being able to overcome all these spiders by himself, that was cool. If I had to make a single complaint about the New Republic soldiers, I would probably say that them having carbines was probably a bit much. I'd figure that they would have sidearms, which would be pistols. You know what I'm saying? and medium pistols at best, not heavy blasters. Anyway, I'm literally like getting super nitpicky with that. At the end of the day, I thought that was freaking awesome. They showed up, they found him and whatnot. They had a back and forth, a little tete-a-tete, and it was realistic. It was fun. There was the passing of a not respect. Well, not a friendship, but of respect. You know what I'm saying? Just that shant form of respect. Because the Mandalorian is the person who we're following. So he's our hero. Or at the very least, he's our protagonist, right? All throughout. So for the New Republic to show up and like, oh, we got to fight the New Republic now. It's like, so you're trying to make them the bad guys. Immediately, I thought this was a bad idea. But this is the second time it happened in the show. They fixed that really quick, right? First was oh no, it's a trap, but I don't see it coming. But the two little rising phoenix farts, and then he's okay, standing on his feet. In this particular case, we see that they were jerks in the beginning, but only because they were trying to protect their own. And isn't that what governments do in the first place? They try to have totalitarian control over a system. And it's like everybody needs to fall into place so you understand that we're in charge. Oh, you're not required to do such and such? Fine. I'm still going to need you to send me a ping. Freaking cops, man. Freaking cops. Anyhow, so what happens? At the end, when there's that grudging respect, like, oh, we saw I would imagine the hollow emitters, we saw you actually risk your life to save somebody, like bodily, you put yourself in harm's way. You apprehended 3 known criminals and do. So we should arrest you, but so apparently there's still that arrest warrant out for him, but that's for him to figure out. I like the idea that he's got to, stay low. He can't just go walking around wherever he wants to go walking around. I like that. All that being said, this was good. This was really good. When they let him go, it's like they are the heroes. They're trying to, settle things down. They're trying to get themselves in place and whatnot. I liked this, Again, aside from Amy Sedaris's role in this and silly little things that seem to involve her all the time, this is great story building, world building. The new monsters and aliens that are being introduced, the old ones, but they're being redone, like the Gamorreans in the previous episode. This is great. The quick little return of that Forlome unit. It's not actually Forlome, but it's I forget what they're called. It's basically a protocol droid like C-3PO, but in the outer rim they replace that head with the insectoid head because it reminds the Gans and whatnot of what they, like this is what they look like. Not that human looking head, but a Gand looking head, or at least species from where we're at. So I dug that, and using the freaking voice modulator, like that was a great idea. It was a great little add-on, to throw that in. I'm really looking forward to more episodes of this. I don't mind that this is episodic at all. I know most of us are used to the idea of, Netflix and whatever, just I want to binge watch this stuff. Yeah, I'd probably prefer to binge watch it also, but keeping it episodic like this, I'm good. I'm totally good with this. This was a really freaking good episode. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for showing up. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.